Hey everyone, welcome to my MagSorc build guide. Today we're going to go over a couple variations in the armor and skills so you can adapt this to best fit where you're at in your skill level and play style. Hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, for the gear, we're starting out with Shacklebreaker. Gonna have an Inferno Staff on our attack bar, shock damage glyph. I have it Nirnhone just for a little bit better balance with the fact that I'm swapping out skills and things a lot. If you're looking for more damage, then go ahead and put it in Sharpened.
Keep the gold. I found something better.
Back staff is going to be Restoration and Defending, using the weapon damage enchantment to help boost our damage when we swap bars. On the first configuration, we're going to start out with Engine Guardian for our monster set. This is something we'll take off once we get a little bit more adept at playing. It is a really good set, not just for the amount of resources that it gives you back. The healing is excellent on it. But the fact that when you're alone, it gives something else that the enemy has to target you through, and you can use that to your advantage to actually absorb a lot of damage. It's really good for a defensive play. Because Shacklebreaker is craftable, start out with the chest and legs in heavy. Once you get more used to the build and your shields are gonna become your primary defense, then you can go ahead and switch those both out to light. Everything we have again is in Impenetrable. And the next set is Amber Plasm. So if you look at Amber Plasm, and if you look at the fact that a typical recovery piece is 129, you're basically picking up 8 set bonuses with this set. And if you're looking at Shacklebreaker and you break down the average set bonus for the maximum, then you're actually looking at a 7-piece set. It's a really good way. Just the amount of resources that these two sets give you, the balance between them just makes for a phenomenal build. And when you take into consideration that with Markarth coming up, that recovery is going to be getting a buff when we have our poisons up, even more so than what it is now. I think it's doubling the effect, jumping it from 20 to 40%. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's where we're currently at with the PTS. Then sets like Amber Plasm just get that much stronger when you're running tri-stat potions. I mean, Shacklebreaker has both magic and stam recovery in it also. It really just allows us to consistently stay up with our resources. Now for the jewelry, I have the necklace in recovery, and then spell damage on the rings. Arcane on everything for the max resources, so we can keep our shield size large enough to make it worthwhile running shields. Plus, MagSorc's damage abilities scale really nicely with max stats anyways. Now, once you get comfortable and you're very consistent with being able to keep your shields up, you don't need the extra healing and defensive abilities from your Engine Guardian set. Then what you can do is go ahead and switch out either your head or shoulder, one-piece Dama House or Swarm Mothers, so you pick up another max Magica and max Stamina off of one piece. And then just change your shoulder or head to an Amber Plasm piece. Take Amber Plasm off and put on Torque. The reason for this is the consistency that you're going to have. The extra magic recovery and stamina recovery is phenomenal, even compared to Engine Guardian, which has a little bit more total. It's the fact that you can consistently have it, and there will be times that you consistently have both buffs up because of just how much you're draining doing your roll dodges and your streaks to fight multiple players. Now for your attack bar, I really prefer to run poisons on a MagSorc. My favorite to run is the Escapist. It gives me an extra immobilize, so I can get that free lockdown without having to use an ability. Once I see that they're immobilized, I can immediately streak them, make them have to double CC break. I run it with the Mark of the Victim. There's just so many people running snipe builds and just Nightblade builds in general this patch because of the way things are, that you can really take advantage of being able to hold them out of stealth for 6 seconds. Now, if you are struggling and needing more help with healing, you can use a drain health poison, get a couple extra ticks of healing, but you also have the lingering poison effects associated with it, which can go ahead and proc your healing off of your crit surge. Or if you just want the most damage possible out of them, then just run your typical dual dot poisons. For our Mundus Stone, we're currently using the Mage, again because of the damage ramping up so nicely off of max stats with the Sorc. It really is a good bit of damage boost, plus the fact that our shields are based off of our max resources. It's something that's given us a dual effect as opposed to running just spell damage, which is only going to affect our damage and not our defense. So the best food to run if you're in the Engine Guardian setup is going to be Clockwork Citrus Fillet. It's going to have your max Magica, max health, giving you both health recovery and magic recovery. Very nice bonuses. If you can't afford that, then Witch Mother's is your next best choice. However, you really do want a food that has the health recovery associated with it if you can have those perfect grows or the gold to buy it. Now, if you're going to run the Torque setup and lose Engine Guardian, then run Sugar Skulls. That extra stamina resource that you get will help you stay below the 50% mark longer, helping to keep Torque more active for your max Magica regen. For our champion points, going 56 into Warlord, 5 into Sprinter, 56 into Arcanist, 43 into Mooncalf, 49 into Healthy, 61 into Tumbling. Elfborn is 56, 64 into Elemental, 57 into Spell Penetration, 21 into Staff Expert. It's really important that you are light attack weaving with all of your abilities on this build. 72 into Master of Arms, 56 into Ironclad, 54 into Resistant, 56 into Hardy, 56 into Elemental Defender. Now, I am doing nothing for Thick-Skinned. It's really just, as a player, you should be able to stay out of AoEs that are doing damage over time. So the only thing you have to worry about is actual players putting dots on you, and dots aren't really all that strong currently, and with your shield management you shouldn't have to worry about that. giving us 48 points into Bastion to be able to increase our shield size. For our skills on our front bar attack bar, we're going to start with Streak. It actually does fairly decent damage, and the fact that it has a stun that's unblockable, it's just phenomenal. Our crystal frags got a nerf off the base damage, but ended up taking a bit of a buff once it's procced. Getting 66% more damage is very good this patch. Endless Fury for our execute, and the fact that we get the extra Magica restored to us from getting the kills. Crushing Shock is going to be our spammable. The fact that it interrupts, off balances, and stuns is phenomenal. Haunting Curse and Shooting Star. We want the extra alt regen when we drop this, help keep it up more often. Now on the front attack bar, Endless Fury is your flex spot. If you can be used to playing without an execute, and really with this build the extra Magica can almost be over sustained at points, then a skill you might want to think about switching it out with is Inner Light. Once this is fully leveled, it'll increase your max magic by 5%, giving you a damage boost over Endless Fury to all of your abilities because of the max resource. Plus the crit rating is going to jump from 37% to 40% crit chance, I believe, which again is just an increase to your overall burst. Plus the fact that extra crit is going to cause your crit surge to be proccing more often, so it's better healing passively coming in for you. With having the Mages Guild on your bar, you're going to get an extra 2% to your max recovery and another 2% to your max resource as well, bringing the 5% up to 7%, having it as long as you have this passive. So on the base setup, you're going to start out with Life Giver as your defensive ulti. It's got a lot going on. It's got a great burst heal every second, but you're also getting your regeneration on top of it, Blessing of Protection, Steadfast Ward at no cost. Your shields are going to be Hardened Ward, Dampened Magic, Boundless Storm for our Major Resolve. Crit Surge is going to be our Major Brutality and Sorcery buff, but along with getting that, we're going to get that passive crit healing based off of us doing crit damage, which is huge to the survivability of this build. And then Dark Conversion for a small burst heal with our resource regen trade-off. What you can do here as well, Life Giver can be switched out for a couple different ults that best fit your playstyle. You could put on the Psijic ability so you get the minor protection and just reduce your overall damage and use it as that defensive buff when you're on your back bar. Or you could even run Reviving Barrier. It's an additional huge shield for you, especially with the points into Bastion. Has a heal associated with it and can kind of help if you have if you're starting off Zerg surfing or just have other players in your group running small group stuff. Dark Conversion can be another flex skill. So you can have bound armor or the bound Aegis morph associated with that slot. The fact that you're going to get, I believe it goes up to a maximum of 8% extra Magica while you have this equipped. That's going to help balance out your front and back bars total magic when you're running the Mages Guilds instead of Endless Fury. But it will also help increase your shield size, so you're getting more defensive there. Especially next patch when they make the adjustment to the minor resistance buff, it's going to jump from the current 1300 to 2900. So that's going to give you a lot of extra resistance when you swap to your back bar. You're going to have the defending from your resto staff combined with that, so you're basically picking up an extra 6,000 resistance when you go to your back bar. And if you're running the Sigil, you become highly defensible on that back bar and still have really good shield sizes to be stacking. And another option for dark conversion, depending on how you like to play, would be structured entropy. Dot really isn't all that good, but with our passives that we're taking, it's so we can get the extra healing off of it, get a couple extra ticks. It's an ability that you can throw out on multiple people. So when you're in a 1v4 situation and you see them charging at you, you can quickly throw out your entropy, get a couple guys dotted up. That will give you a hot for every person that you have that on. Plus, with all those damages every second ticking off, with your crit surge at 47%, odds are you're going to be proccing your crit heal off of crit surge every second as well. So you have a huge increase to your hot and your survivability based off of those two working in tandem when you're outnumbered. Again, because of it being a Mage Guild ability, you do get the extra Magica. 2%'s not huge, but it does give you a little bit of a boost to your overall shield size when you're casting them on your back bar, plus again the extra recovery as well. So that's another option for you guys to consider once you don't need the extra help managing your resources from dark conversion. For the build, obviously we go with Dark Elf. Just the extra max resources is too good to pass up. So many times on a MagSorc you're gonna die because you can't break free, can't roll dodge out of something. It seems a little weird to say that your MagSorc will survive based off of its stam, but because of the way we convert and use stamina on the build, it's essential to have a good pool of stamina. Get the extra defense from your increased flame resistance, get the burning status effect immunity, keep that dot off of you, and then the increase to your overall damage. Alright, that does it for the build. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch the video. Also, a big shout out and thank you to everybody that has given me the follow over on Twitch to help us get ready to submit to become an affiliate over there. There is a link in the description below if you would like to be one of those to help out. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the build, feel free to leave them down below and I will get back with you as soon as I can. You guys have a great day.